Television and films have been going toe-to-toe for a while now, with both mediums producing content that is not only written to the highest quality but filmed in the most spectacular ways. Gone are the days when film stars would never deign to appear on TV or for series leads aspiring to leave it all behind for the land of features. They can coexist in ways that push each other to be better. Even historically, shows would create 1 or 2 TV events per season that had viewers feeling like they were at the movies. But, since the likes of Black Mirror brought cinema-level anthology ideas to the mainstream, many TV shows have been upping the ante as well as the budgets, to produce episodes that would look as great in a movie theater as they do on the home flat screen. From premieres and bottle episodes to series finales, these few hours of TV have changed the game. Though some might still need the rest of the season for context, the episodes themselves are created in a way that elevates them to new heights. 10. Amor Fati. The White Lotus, Season 3, Episode 7. Kate, Leslie Bibb, at a table with her fingers crossed in The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 7. Each season of Mike White's hit show has been shot in some of the most beautiful locales in the world. Hawaii in Season 1 is the introduction to this environment of wealth and privilege, with stunning sunsets and lush greenery. Sicily is the sun-drenched setting for Season 2, and the latest installment takes place around the paradise vistas of Thailand. As with each season, the new guests keep viewers entertained, and the central mystery of the dead body in the pond builds up with every new episode. The latest The White Lotus season finale proved to be quite divisive, but, even if some viewers felt the need for more answers, the whole episode is much like a film. From its feature length to the explosive shootout, the tension builds with each segment. While there are many standout scenes and memorable monologues, it's very much the Rick and Chelsea story. Their sunlit reunion on the beach, her face when he confirms that he wants to spend forever with her, and finally the heartbreaking shot of him carrying her limp body. All these moments play out like a tragic melodrama. 9. The Last Ceremony. The Handmaid's Tale, Season 2, Episode 10. June walking pregnant in The Handmaid's Tale Season 2 Episode 10 The Last Ceremony. Grey, steel-toned, and unrelentingly bleak is the signature cinematography choice for The Handmaid's Tale. This conscious decision reflects the hopeless world that everyone is living in, and the helplessness that they feel every day. It is not easy to choose the most disturbing episode or saddest scene of this dystopian epic, but each story that is told has symbolism and meaning behind it. The Last Ceremony plays out like a psychological thriller, almost verging on horror. The false labor scene introduces a sense of dread that then turns to terror as it is decided June must be punished for this event. The punishment itself is gruesome and horrifying as she is held down by Fred and Serena. Everything she has to endure is written on Elizabeth Moss' face in a chilling way, making viewers feel every emotion she is going through. The episode then ends on a cliffhanger that any renowned horror would be proud of. The protagonist is all alone, in distress, her future unknown. 8. Pine Barrens. The Sopranos, Season 3, Episode 11. Pauli and Chris in The Sopranos, Pine Barrens. With so many momentous episodes to choose from, The Sopranos was television's early 2000s answer to The Godfather. This meant that not only were all the family relationships complex and ever-changing, but the action and cinematography tried to honor Francis Ford Coppola's epic trilogy as well. While there are a few epic episodes in each season that stand out in many ways, Pine Barrens has the aesthetic of Fargo with the grittiness of Goodfellas. Steve Buscemi was behind the camera to bring this story to life. It feels like a standalone episode with a main plot point that is not as connected to the rest of the season. The hilarious banter between Pauli and Chris drives the story as they traverse cold and unfamiliar territory after a botched mission. Their dialogue is sharply written, lightening the tone despite the bleak setting they find themselves in. 7. Hush. Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Season 4, Episode 10. The gentleman in the Buffy episode Hush. One of the jewels in Season 4's crown, Hush is such a unique take on the Monster of the Week format of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. While some of the other threats either seem easily beatable, not very scary, or simply forgettable, the gentlemen are none of those. As they take the whole town's voices, leaving Sunnydale in an eerie silence, there is a sense of helplessness among the residents, even Buffy herself. Each shot of them floating towards their victims, with their terrifying smiles and equally creepy henchmen, is spine-tingling. The episode is constructed in a cinematic way, with the eerie dream sequence opening the story up, and then the mysterious threat descending on the unsuspecting victims. Treating the muteness like something that happens in sci-fi or horror films makes viewers feel like they are watching one of those movies, and almost forget that they are halfway through a season of television. The ambiguous conclusion where, even though the characters can finally speak but choose silence, is the perfect ending. 6. Why We Fight. Band of Brothers, Season 1, Episode 9. The Easy Company entering a concentration camp in Band of Brothers. This miniseries comes across like a collection of short films that connect to tell one epic story. It stands to reason considering the caliber of filmmakers involved, and the cinematography and acting are top-notch. But this particular episode of Band of Brothers stands out among the 9 other fantastic installments, mostly because it serves as a bit of a departure from the action-packed and combat-focused pace of the show. While each one shows the many devastating effects of war in the vein of the Thin Red Line, this one is more like a scene from The Pianist or Schindler's List. For most of the episode, there is a sense of calm before something huge happens, especially with the end of the war drawing near, but there is one last horror left to encounter. As the soldiers come across the concentration camp, each shot is filled with importance and emotion. The choice of sound, or often lack thereof, the horrified and visceral reactions to what exactly it is that they're seeing all hit viewers straight in the gut. It is such a poignant piece of television history that was treated as such. 5. Everyone's Waiting. 6 Feet Under, Season 5, Episode 12. 6 Feet Under Series Finale. This groundbreaking show was able to tackle the unbearably heavy subjects of grief and death with a much-needed dose of dark humor. While watching the family go through their many trials and tribulations, the audience became involved with them and ultimately wanted them to be okay. While many finales wrap up the story at hand, 6 Feet Under goes beyond the grave to show how each character ends up and how, and when, they die. Parks and Recreation did a similar thing in its own finale, which was similarly satisfying.